Second, it was still 2-2 when the Oilers' penalty-killing unit came up big.
Harley at the point, hurried up by Connor Brown. Far hash mark to Shane, center point. Harley a shot off his own man, Marchment, short-handed. 2-on-1 for the Oilers. Connor Brown over the line near wing out in front. They score! Matthias Janmark with a shorty. On a 2-on-1, 5:29 left in the second period. Edmonton leads Game 4 for the first time.
Our John Forsland on the call. That was the second goal of the postseason and first in the series for Matthias Janmark. It was also the first shorthanded goal in the playoffs for the Oilers. Less than a minute later, Leon Draisaitl continued the onslaught.
Through center ice, Draisaitl a steal, far wing Hyman, Draisaitl, he scores! At the expiration of the power play, very close, a give and go. Zach Hyman to Leon Draisaitl. It's 4-2, Edmonton.
That was the 10th goal of the playoffs for Draisaitl and his second in the series. Matthias Ekholm would add an empty netter late in the third, and the Oilers won the game 5-2 to even up the series at 2 games apiece. Oilers head coach Chris Knoblauch talked about what led to the turnaround for his team in Game 4.
It wasn't the start, but you've seen this right through the series where both teams have absolutely dominated, and then the other team has dominated. Like, it's been back and forth, and we didn't have our start, which is hard to overcome because you're down 2-0 in a game like this. It's hard to overcome, but I think we just got back to the way we were supposed to be playing.
Stars head coach Peter DeBoer talked about all the momentum swings in this series.
Well, of course. I mean, that's the whole response thing of the playoffs, and even in a game, everyone talks about how do you control losing leads or coming back in games. You've got two of the highest scoring teams in the league. Neither team needs a lot of room to score or a lot of opportunity. So you're going to have some of those lead changes in a series like this.
While the Oilers' power play unit has failed to produce a goal in this series so far, their penalty killers have been absolutely phenomenal. They're +1 on the penalty kill thanks to that shorthanded goal from Matthias Janmark in Game 4. They have killed off all 9 Stars power plays in this series and 23 consecutive overall. Leon Draisaitl talked about what impresses him the most about the way the Oilers' penalty killers are currently playing.
I think just how in sync they are and their routes and how detailed they are with stick positioning and being in lanes, and obviously at times having to sacrifice. It seems like they're controlling the pace of the power play almost sometimes, and that's really, really hard to do for kills. And obviously all the guys that are out there are doing a great job.
Connor Brown's a big part of the Oilers' penalty-killing unit. He picked up an assist on the Janmark shorthanded goal in Game 4. He talked about the fight his team is showing in this series.
I think it stems from the beginning of this year. We were in dead last. We faced adversity all year, so it's gotten to the point where we're thriving under that adversity. We're welcoming it, and I think it's shown here whenever we need a response.
The Oilers have been noticeably more physical as this series has gone on. They out-hit the Stars 47-23 in Game 4, and defenseman Darnell Nurse was a big part of it. He led all players with 12 hits on the night. Chris Knoblauch said he loved the aggressiveness from Nurse in Game 4.
Personally, I thought it was his best game in the series, maybe in the playoffs. I thought he was engaged, yes, but I thought he was moving his feet. One thing Darnell is the best because of his strength. Those 3 attributes is, what really sets him apart from other defensemen.
Connor McDavid had 3 assists in Game 4. He has 23 assists and 28 total points in the playoffs so far, the most among all players in both categories. He has 7 points so far in this series. Oilers defenseman Evan Bouchard continued his tremendous postseason run with a goal in Game 4. It was his 6th of the playoffs. The 24-year-old leads all defensemen with 23 points in the postseason. Oilers head coach Chris Knoblauch made a couple of big lineup changes before Game 4, and they paid off in a major way. Ryan McLeod was reinserted into the lineup. He picked up his first goal of the postseason. Veteran Corey Perry dressed for the first time in this series, and he had the primary assist on the McLeod goal. Perry said it's his job to be ready to perform when his number is called.
You do get pulled out of the lineup. It's a tough pill to swallow, but you put that aside, and when you get your name called again, you come in and you just you work hard. And I think you can talk for myself and for Clowder. It was about being hard on the puck, winning our battles, and that's all we were trying to do.
Leon Draisaitl was asked about his head coach Chris Knobloch making all the right calls with his lineup decisions.
I think that our depth is good enough that it's hard for him to make these decisions, you know. If you take someone out, you have someone waiting outside your lineup that's ready to go and wants to make an impact, and that's good enough to make an impact. And that's what good teams have, and that's what winning teams have. And Knobber pushes the right buttons or has the right lineup decisions most of the time. So, yeah, he's done a good job.
Oilers goaltender Stuart Skinner bounced back off a rough performance in Game 3 with a very strong effort in Game 4. He gave up just 2 goals on 22 shots. He's allowed 2 goals or fewer in 5 of his last 6 starts. Stars netminder Jake Ottinger coming off his worst outing of the series in Game 4. Allowed 4 goals on 29 shots. It was the first time that he's given up more than 3 goals since Game 5 in the second round against the Avalanche. The Stars have the 6th best power play in the league during the regular season. They followed that up by posting 9 power play goals in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, but they have been completely shut down with the man advantage in this series to this point. Stars captain Jamie Benn was asked why that unit is struggling so badly.
Their PK is good. I think they've been pretty good all playoffs. You know, they put a lot of pressure on you, and we'll have to find a way to get a little creative here and try and break them down.
The team split the first 2 games of this series in Dallas. They split the next 2 in Edmonton. Now it becomes essentially a best of 3 with Game 5 in Dallas tonight. Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch gave his thoughts on the position his team is in heading into tonight's Game 5.
You know, you look at this series, and I don't think there's a game that either coaches or players thought, you know, we could have won that one. And, you know, there's 4 games that Dallas thought they could have won, and we felt there's 4 games that we could have won. And, you know, it's been a good series, and, you know, I like where we're going. I like stretches of how we've been playing. It's just important that we are able to do it for longer stretches.
Stars head coach Peter DeBoer said they knew this series would be a battle all the way through.
It's 2 out of 3 to go to the Stanley Cup final. This isn't supposed to be easy, and it's not supposed to be pretty. As much preparation as we can do to manage momentum swings and things like that. You get the 4 best teams in the league left. That's what it's going to look like, and you got to find a way to come out on top. If it takes 7 games in overtime, it takes 7 games in overtime.
Stars captain Jamie Benn was asked where his confidence level is heading into tonight's pivotal Game 5.
I got all the confidence in the world in this group. We've been through a lot all year. You know, reset here, you know, learn from it, and you know, we got a great opportunity in front of us, best of 3 on home ice here, so looking forward to it.
On the injury front, Stars defenseman Chris Tanev going to be a game-time decision to play tonight. He injured his foot blocking a shot in Game 4. Let's get a preview of Game 5 of the Western Conference Final between the Oilers and Stars from our outstanding broadcast team who will be calling the action at American Airlines Center in Dallas. John Forsland, Jim Fox, and Nick Olchek, guys.
Okay, Rob, thanks very much. Welcome to Dallas, Texas, everybody, for the next chapter of what has been an outstanding series. And Jimmy, I think we looked at each other after Game 4 and said, now what? And that's a great thing in a best-of-7 series.
Yeah, the great one. Wayne Gretzky, of course, covering the game for TV. He had a great quote. He said, the only thing you can figure out about this series is that you can't figure it out.
That's right.
And that's the way it's gone. It makes for a great series. Every shift, it's turning back and forth, everything going. First minute might be important. 59th minute might be important. 121st minute might be important. You just don't know.
So there's no edge. But in your mind, you know, as you get back to Dallas, for each team, what has to happen to establish their game and keep it?
Yeah, for Edmonton, continue to just focus on their own game. Make sure it's not about the officials. Make sure it's not about just figure out your own game. That penalty kill, right? It's been dominant, and the biggest turning point in the series was the shorthanded goal in the last game. And that comes shorthanded, so very important to keep that going. Also, the others have established something that the Stars were known for, and that is we need everyone approach. Coming in, it was about the big wheels of the Edmontoners. Now it's about 4 lines, so they've turned that on, and really, it seems like Edmonton is learning as this series is going along. With the Dallas Stars, they have to park Game 4 and move on from there. Their veteran leadership, they rely on that, get more intangibles. The rush game, that's one thing that they can work on, but the grind game too, that's what they're known for, a little bit more physicality. Matchups can be important. At the same time, Peter DeBoer and the staff feel at home. They can make sure that happens. bring their road mindset home.
That's been hard
That's
for them.
what the Dallas Stars need to do.
Right, that'll be the trick for Dallas, no question. So the teams are on the ice for the warm-up, and you heard Rob talk about Chris Tanev, who blocked a shot in Game 4. They called it game-time decision this morning. Well, through the warm-up, it looks like, not official yet, but it looks like Chris Tanev will play. Great news for the Stars and their fans. Ty Dellandrea will step in on the fourth line. They will take out Radek Faksa. That's been a thing ongoing throughout the playoffs for Dallas. For Edmonton, only one change tonight. Sam Carrick in, centering the fourth line in the place of Derek Ryan.
Yeah, I think with Carrick, he brings a little bit more nasty, a little bit more size, a little bit more physicality, perhaps what you need, especially when you're on the road.
Well, the same thing has been true each and every game. Rob, we can't wait to get started. Back to you.
No doubt about it. Cannot wait in here either. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to your call at Game 5 of the Western Conference Final coming up shortly. When we come back on the T-Mobile pregame show, our Nick Olczyk will have interviews with players from both teams. You do not want to miss it. You're listening to Game 5 of the Western Conference Final on Sports USA.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. You know, I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. You know, basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save, because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
At T-Mobile, you can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness, but money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Welcome back to the Progressive Insurance Studios. I am Rob Brender. For a job you'll love, visit progressive.com/careers. You're listening to the T-Mobile pregame show. We are getting you ready for Game 5 of the Western Conference Final between the Oilers and Stars at American Airlines Center in Dallas. The series tied up at 2 games apiece. Just a short time ago, our Nick Olczyk caught up with Stars All-Star forward Jason Robertson.
All right, Jason, series right now is tied at 2. What's kind of been your read on the series so far? It seems like there's been a lot of momentum swings.
I don't know. It seems like no one can hold the lead right now. But I think it's just a game of, like you said, momentum. No one can really step on the throat, kind of run away with it. But, I mean, it's kind of playoffs. You have, both teams trying to fight for their lives. And just the way it is right now.
There's been a lot of talk about better execution on the power play for both teams. Aside from just scoring goals, can you take me through any of the little plays that could maybe lead to a little bit more offense on the man advantage?
I think starting with the puck's pretty critical. But I know our face-off guys are, digging down deep. They're going to try to win the draw as hard as they can. If not, try to go recover it. So I know they take a lot of pride in that. And, I think they're going to respond, better. And I just think our executing on our breakouts and try to maintain possession off when we enter the zone is something we can execute a bit better and getting to our spots and just trying to hold on to the puck more.
I don't expect you to give me all your secrets, but I'm curious. Your game prep from game to game, watching video, watching your shifts, watching your other teammates. What are you looking for game to game when I know you're pretty studious of your game.
Just trying to fine tune some stuff, trying to learn. But I think the biggest thing is I watch my games before the game. So like later today, I'll watch my shifts and everything, and kind of prepare me for tonight mentally, and show you what to be aware of. You know, if there are holes that could be exploited, better plays to be made. You know, if you could have been harder on pucks, it just mentally prepares you. And I think the big thing is when you rewatch your clips, you know, the good stuff's great, but the stuff that you can improve on, it's nice to know that you can do something about it in the next couple of hours.
And lastly, a lot has been made about your connection with Rope Hintz. I'm just curious, as far as the relationship that you guys have, aside from the goals and the offense, what is it in your mind that makes him such a good player to play with?
I think he kind of, you know, drives the speed and the pace of the game, the flow. He gets up the ice quick, reloads fast. I think it's something that's not really looked too well on him is how hard he plays defensively, how good he is breaking the puck out in the defensive zone. So that kind of translates to offense going the other way. And obviously transition in the neutral zone is pretty incredible.
All right, Jason, thanks for your time and good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
That is Stars forward Jason Robertson with our Nick Goldcheck. Nick also spoke to Oilers forward Ryan McLeod.
Hey, Ryan, I don't want to go backwards. I want to look forwards, but Game 3, you didn't play.
Yep.
You came into Game 4. You made a great impact with a goal. I'm curious as to what your mindset was, knowing there's a fine line of not trying to do too much when you come back in the lineup.
Yeah, I think the instructions are pretty clear on, you know, what they wanted me to do, and just kind of getting to the net and using my feet. I think I did a good job on that goal to, you know, use my feet to get there and then get to the net, and it was good. Yeah.
It's been very obvious to me the willingness for you and your forward group to back check and back pressure. When you see the puck turned over in the offensive zone, is there a mindset switch where you need to get back right away?
For sure. They transition really well. You know, they're really dangerous at the rush. I think they're one of the best teams in the league. So I think everyone in the back of their heads is always, you know, trying to play a little bit more defense first, and it doesn't really matter who's getting back first. Just make sure we're getting back.
43 hits for your team last game. Do you think that's going to be important moving forward to try and slow down their transition?
For sure. You know, they transition really well, and you know, anytime you can slow up their, you know, their D-man on the forecheck or just, you know, kind of rub someone out, it helps a lot, and it takes a lot of pressure off our D. So I think we're going to stay physical.
And lastly, Corey Perry's impact, both when he's playing and when he's not playing, how immense is that for your team?
It's huge. Me and Perez have, you know, had a great relationship over the time he's been here, and you know, he's helped me out a ton. And it's been a lot of fun to, you know, play with him on the line and you know, get to know him off the ice. It's been great.
All right, Ryan, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
That is Oilers forward Ryan McLeod with our Nick Goldcheck. Coming up next on the T-Mobile pregame show, we are going to get you caught up on everything happening in the Eastern Conference Final between the Panthers and Rangers. You're listening to Game 5 of the Western Conference Final on Sports USA. We are back after these local messages. Get you ready for Game 5 of the Western Conference Final between the Oilers and Stars in Dallas. Series tied up at 2 games apiece. Last night at Madison Square Garden, the Panthers took on the Rangers in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final. It was 1-1 in the third.
3 abreast, back come the Cats the other way. Lundell pulls one in, and he scores! Anton Lundell has given Florida their first lead of Game 5.
Our John Ahler's on the call. Goal number 3 in the postseason for Lundell and his first in the series for the 22-year-old. Later in the third, Sam Bennett would add some insurance.
Bennett now wins a puck battle in the boards in the neutral zone, skates into the Ranger zone, cuts to the middle, and he rifles it in! Fox came sliding out to try to block it, but Sam Bennett has given the Panthers a 3-1 lead with 1:52 to play in Game 5.
That empty net goal from Sam Bennett wound up being very important. Florida had to hold on to win the game 3-2. They lead the series 3-2 and have a chance to punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup Final for the second straight year and third time in franchise history with a win tomorrow. Panthers forward Matthew Tkachuk was asked by our Billy Jaffe if the veteran leadership on the team is helping guide them through another long playoff run.
It's tricky using the word veteran because we have so many guys that are in their mid-20s, and to me, I feel like I'm really young, and our whole core of guys I feel like is very young, but I guess we've been playing for 6, 7, 8, 9 years now, whatever it is. So we've been through some stuff. We've been through a good playoff run. We've been through some stuff throughout the last 2 years. And we're super calm, but we don't play calm. We play in your face, and we play hard. Seems like we might be running around a little bit, but that's just us being on our game. So I really liked our effort.
Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Final set for tomorrow night in Sunrise. Our pregame coverage here on Sports USA will get underway at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The play-by-play will follow at 8 p.m. Eastern. And again, if the Panthers win tomorrow night, they will be going back to the Stanley Cup Final. The Rangers will be trying to force a Game 7 in that series a couple of days later at MSG. More of the T-Mobile pregame show is right around the corner as we get ready for the opening face-off of Game 5 between the Oilers and Stars in Dallas. You're listening to Game 5 of the Western Conference Final on Sports USA. We are back after these local messages.
It's the Western Conference Final on Sports USA, and Dallas heads to Edmonton for Game 6. And at this level, the rink gets fast and furious.
This game is top speed.
Dallas has a trio of talent in Robertson, Johnston, and Ben. The Oilers can score in a blink with McDavid leading the way. Game 6, Stars and Oilers, this Sunday on your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup Final. Sports USA.
Million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com. The T-Mobile pregame show is winding down with Game 5 of the Western Conference Final between the Oilers and Stars about to get underway. The series tied up at 2 games apiece. The team split the first 2 games in Dallas. They split the next 2